everybody, and welcome back to... Today we're at Fort Monroe, and I'm so excited to show you guys around. This is a historical site, and just has a lot of charm and history, and yeah, can't wait to show you guys around. Come on. This is the Deadrise Fish House. It's a restaurant right off the marina of Fort Monroe. We are going to be eating here today, and I'm excited to show you guys a little bit of what they have to offer. All right, so we are in the Deadrise. It is a cute little place. It is a seafood, if you couldn't tell. Kind of gets Natalie and the theme. I really like the mason jar lights at the bar. We ordered some crab dip. It is delicious. We've already eaten like half of it. But yeah, I will post the menu for you guys so you guys can see the options that you have available here. And then obviously I'll show you whatever we order. But yeah, so far it is delicious. And the atmosphere is super cute. Love it. People are really friendly. Good service. Alright, so I got the fish tacos, and the fish is usually the fresh catch of the day, which today it's swordfish. Not particularly my favorite, but I do love shrimp tacos, so we are going to give it a go. And Miss Natalie got, what is it? The trio? Looks like scallops, shrimp, some potatoes, green beans. Looks super yummy. It smells delicious. And we'll let you know how it tastes. Alright guys, so we just finished eating at the Deadrise. It was really good. What do you think, Natalie?
So yummy.
The swordfish was a little dry, but that's usually how swordfish is. But it was still really good, just being with all the dressings of the taco. I just wanted to guys show you the view. You can actually see some of this from inside when you're sitting. They do have seating outside as well, which is really nice. But you're kind of right here by the dock. Just very nice. Very good scenery to have while you're eating. There's a boat coming in. Actually get out and walk around some. I'm just trying to find a good place to park that is not residential parking. People do live down here, so try to be respectful when you are taking pictures and walking on property. There's another little bridgeway right there. To come down all the way around and park. There's a museum down here. I like to park outside of there just because it's kind of a good middle point. So the Plaque Museum is right here. It's this really long building. I mean, there's a lot of long buildings. It's a fort surrounded by a moat. The museum just recently opened back up, I believe. But don't quote me on that. You should always call and check ahead first. I know it was closed due to COVID. Here's some of the private housings. They do pretty good about putting a post outside saying private residence, so that way you do know what's private and what's a public building. I like coming up here. It's a workout. The steep hills here. This is Flagstaff Bastion. I probably butchered that. This is a historical site, and they have postings all around for good good for history buffs. And it's an amazing sight once we get up here. So here's the view once you make it up the steep hill with the flagpole here. That's looking in towards the fort, and then looking out, you can obviously see the water. Here's a plaque right here, kind of giving you a little bit of information regarding the fort. It does say right here, Fort Monroe is the largest stone fort built in the U.S. 1819 to 1834, and is home of the artillery school from 1824 to 1906. So that's a fun little tidbit there for you. You can kind of see the moat surrounding the fort. We're going to venture down along the fort so you can kind of get a better view. But yeah, this is your view from the top right here. Towards the left, wrapping around that way, there is a pet cemetery. Probably won't go too much over there. They do have a little bit right over here to your right. So you'll see a little bit, but I just think it's slightly creepy walking over a pet cemetery. I'm sure some of you will agree. Keep in mind you are walking along the top of the fort, the buildings here. It is a steep fall, so please remember that. Don't let your kids walk along here. I see some of them do it sometimes. It is very dangerous. That can be a real serious injury if a kiddo falls, or just anybody. So starting here are some of the plaques for the pets. It doesn't go all the way down like on the other side of the fort. It's just a couple of them. Here's another one of my favorite spots. You can see the lighthouse with the water in the distance, some houses. And then right here where we're standing, you can actually see this is where I think they said cannons or just some sort of artillery was posted. And they have those about every so many feet here. And you can tell they were pointed out towards the water. So here's a plaque for the Jefferson Davis Memorial Arch, which is right behind or in front of the plaque, depending how you're looking at it. It does say it was erected by the United Daughters of Confederacy, just to commemorate the imprisonment of Confederate President Jefferson Davis here at the Fort Monroe. Alright guys, this is the house President Abraham Lincoln stayed during his visit on May 6th or 11th of 1862. This is where him and General Wool planned the attack on Norfolk. If you're wondering where I found that out, there is a sign right here across from the building that literally gives me all that information. So, pretty cool to know that you're standing right outside a place Abraham Lincoln once stayed. And we are actually going to venture more in towards the parade grounds, they call it. It's really beautiful. They got a bunch of nice trees. For some reason the trees just give it a really awesome aesthetic walking through here. And there is what they call the parade grounds. In the distance, I believe they said those used to be kind of like the dorms or where the soldiers stayed, something like that. There's a bunch of plaques around here. You just have to like stop and read them. They have a bunch of information. I think it's really cool. They have little places you can bring your dogs. They have right there like a doggy bag and trash can. Just look how funky these trees are. I think I have an obsession with trees. These are just so cool. I love looking at different types of trees. They bring me joy. Guys, another key point here on the parade ground, we have the Rodman gun. It was cast in 1860. It says it has more than a 4-mile range, and the projectile was over 300 pounds. And if you look here on the side, this was one of the things up on the fort that shot out to the sea. It says right there that the Lincoln gun was trained on the ship Channel. And that's an illustration from a newspaper in July 1862. I believe this is the size of the cannon. I don't believe they're calling them cannons. I think they really are calling it Lincoln gun, but it's hard not to compare it to a cannon. But yeah, so that is the Lincoln gun, or Rodman gun, whichever you want to call it. I think they use them interchangeably. And here's the plaque to go with it. Kind of spooky over here. Is kind of a rundown house that's boarded up. It definitely has off limits posted on it. Alright guys, so like I said, there was a pet cemetery. You gotta walk up all these flights of stairs here, similar to that slope on the other side. Definitely certainly looks like you're walking up to heaven to be with the pets. But really what's kind of cool and creepy over here on this side is this little underpass over here, and I will show you why. It is dark. There is one small window. I can hear myself echo. Definitely gives dungeon vibes. And it's so short. I'm 5'3", and here I am touching it. Alright guys, here's kind of a plaque that kind of summarizes and shows you around the fort. Here's kind of a good overall picture showing you what it kind of entails. And then they have the stuff numbered here. And then if you look on the plaque corresponding to that number, it'll give you information regarding it. So like I said, very cool for history buffs. So yeah, definitely check it out. Alright guys, we are on the outskirts of the fort. Right across the way you can see the St. Mary Star of the Sea Catholic Church. I believe that is a still functioning church. Don't quote me on that, but if you know for sure, comment down below. Let everybody know. So here it's kind of like its own little community. You got the houses along the outside, the church in the center. They got a library, they got an education center. All that's kind of right down here on the outskirts of the fort there. There's another one of the Rodman guns that we just learned about. It's a very quaint little place. See all these houses. And then there in the distance you can see one of the entrances to the Fort Monroe. And that looks like, oh, Fort Monroe YMCA. Pretty cool. And I've only been to this place one time before. It's called Firehouse Coffee. It's a little coffee shop. I think they do ice cream there too. It's pretty neat. Like I said, definitely a cool vibe going on down here. There's another one of the birds. Alright guys, we are inside the Firehouse coffee shop here. They got cold drinks, coffee, smoothies,
waffle cone and
ice
strawberry.
cream. They have pastries, little snacks, coffee. So I think this coffee shop is so cute. It is dog friendly. They have a little fire hydrant here and says dogs welcome with some water bowls for your doggos. They even have treats inside. We are just sitting outside here. I got me a cold brew with toasted marshmallow. People here are really friendly. Natalie got a strawberry ice cream cone. Is it good, Natalie?
Yes.
We're just out here having a good time. Luckily it's not so sunny, so we are spared from some of the heat and the sun today, but it is still pretty humid, so this is a nice cool treat to have. Alright guys, so here on the outskirts of Fort Monroe, they do have a small kind of beach. They got a pier you can fish off that's free. You do have to have your fishing license though, I believe. You can see I'm not sure what type of ship that is in the background, but definitely kind of cool. You can definitely see all the big like cargo ships and work ships passing by. I'd have to say the Fort Monroe beach is more, I guess, family-based, kind of a quieter scene, unlike Virginia Beach. Here is a view from the outside of the fort. Still have that same pier. Got another ship going in the background. We got another big cargo ship coming in to the right. And as we head down here, there's another pier in the distance that you can fish off. And if you keep walking around, eventually you'll run into a sandy beach area, kind of maybe like a little cove per se. You can actually get in the water there, maybe swim a little bit. I do believe during the summer season they have lifeguards for you. And I think it's really cool down along this walkway here. They have historical plaques that you can read. They have a bunch of African history along here. I do believe one of these explains that this was considered like the African slave trade route. And so there's a lot of memorials around here for the freedom of slavery, which is really cool. You can see a storm rolling in. The water's getting kind of rough. It usually does when a rain or a storm rolls in. So there are two things I kind of wanted to cover since I didn't really speak on them in the videos themselves. One, it is free of charge to visit Fort Monroe. As far as I know, it's free to park down there and just walk around and visit the fort. However, I don't know like if they do special events, if they charge for parking, anything like that. And also I believe you do have to pay to visit the museum, but I'm not sure. You'll just have to give a call. And secondly, this video did not capture Fort Monroe in its entirety at all. I just kind of caught some of the main highlights in my opinion. But there is so much more to see and experience down and around Fort Monroe. So you'll just have to come check it out for yourself. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time.
Could you imagine getting blasted with one of them suckers? Oh, I'm recording.
You bad,